the YouTube live? Yes, I'm giving it in a bit. Give me a second. Give me a second, yeah, everybody. The YouTube live. Okay, all right. I'll give the link right now. Copy. Okay. Everyone in a meeting, this is the YouTube live of the particular class. Okay, for those who can't come in, give me a second, yeah, I'm just addressing people who can't come in. They can watch the YouTube live. For those who can't come in to the class, you can watch through YouTube live now. Okay, all right, so again, I have given the link of YouTube live, so almost everybody I think could actually join in and see myself and Dr. Azian right now. So can everybody, is everybody okay for now? So I hope I've solved that in, sorry people, I took about almost 10 minutes to solve that. All right, so any questions at the current moment? Okay, so we have 23 watching now. Hi everybody on YouTube. Sorry you could not come into the Zoom meeting link. On week 2 I try to address you know, this Zoom account and try to have more people to come in and in the particular Zoom. So I'll try to do that, and hopefully next week we'll resolve that. Thank you so much, Dr. Aziam, for coming in. If you want to leave, you know, you can leave. So thank you so much, Dr. Azian. So with that, and you are with me, everybody. Okay, no, it's not only should we leave Zoom? Okay, no, for those who are right here on Zoom, please stay on Zoom, right? For those who could not in the WhatsApp group, could not join Zoom, you know, please stay on YouTube link, yeah, because you can't come in. So basically what I'll do right now, everybody, is to continue the lecture right here through Zoom, and if I could not find a solution, you know, to have everybody, you know, all 425 of you in a particular, in our one particular link, so this is how we're going to do it, where we're going to do live through Zoom and transmit it live through YouTube. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for bearing with me in a couple of minutes for this technicality. So no problem. So with that, let's try to continue our explanation for today. So give me a second, yeah. So that, give me a second. PowerPoint. Okay, PowerPoint. Give me a second, everybody. Okay, can everybody see my screen? If you can, please type yes in the chat box. Yes? Can you see my screen? Okay, everybody on YouTube, can you see my screen as well? If yes, can you type yes in the WhatsApp, please? All right, so if you're looking at my screen, everybody, it is the course briefing of Introduction to Mass Communication. And with that, I would like to share with you and continue on I will touch this assessment later on, but just to share with you, we have 4 parts of the assessment for this particular module, and whereby it's 100% coursework. What do I mean by it's 100% coursework, where we have no final exams, except we have not online quiz, we have physical quiz, not online quiz, sorry, physical quiz, which is 10%. So everything would be about 100%. So what you do on assignment number 1, which is the first half of that, when you do assignment 1 is divided into 2, which is in your tutorial sections or classes. Have you signed in now? I am a little late. Hao Chen, I will give the CAMS code at the end of the class, yeah? Okay, so with that, people, so assignment number 1 is divided into 2 parts, whereby in tutorial sessions or in tutorial classes that you will be having next week, that is where we will start to how would I say, to assess you and to make sure that you understand a part of the learning process and so forth. So that will be every time when you have an in-class assignment, an activity, a group discussion, a mini presentation, or an assigned task for you to do, that would be 15 marks in total every week. So try not to miss your tutorial classes, because that's marks over there up till week 13. So overall, it's 20% an ongoing assessment. And again, always come to class. I will try my best together with Dr. Azian and and Miss Afruza to give as much continuous feedback to all of you, to make sure that you are on track and you know what to do. Yeah, so that is part A. If you don't understand now, it's okay, I will explain a little bit much more later. Part B will be quiz will be at the end of the semester, which is a physical quiz, not an online quiz. Sorry for the typo. So that will be about sometime around week 12. Yeah, and coming into assignment number 2, you have group report essay, where you have to pair it in your own tutorial groups, and you pair with your teammates. How would you do that? I will share with you later on. Okay, assignment number 3, which is individual assignment, where you are required to do, I will give you a list of topics for assignment number 2 and 3. As a group and individual, you will come over to actually write a reflection or on issues in media today. So that's 20%. And the last assignment, which is everything is crucial right here for me. So you could not afford to miss anything. So it is very important for you and for myself to see you to do the work with great passion and quality. So how would you do the subject very well, is to do it with a lot of passion and a lot of engagement and things like that, because it's much more hands-on in that sense. And assignment number 4 would be final group project video, which is about 30%. So this I will explain a little bit later on, whereby where you have to do in groups, where you do a documentary, a TV program, a podcast, or a short film on this particular assignment. So that would be 30% in total. Okay, are there any questions? Miss, about the quiz, is it objective and subjective? If you were to ask me, it will be subjective all throughout the way. Yes. Okay, any questions for now? Any questions for now? All essays? No, not all essays. Okay, so basically, good question, Sally. So basically, what I'll do as a main module leader would be I will try to go as much as I can into all tutorial classes at certain weeks to show you the practicality of doing, for example, a photo, angles, and so forth. At that time, I will be grading you as together with the lecturer assigned. But right now, specifically, overall, what you are doing, I will be whatever you'll be doing, the particular tutor assigned to you will mark your assignment. So but I'll again will monitor the overall quality of the assignment and see whether if there is a need of, for example, boosting up. I'll make sure you get it. Okay, does that clarify for you, Sally? Are the groups assigned by ourselves? I will assign to you if you don't have groups. Matthew. Okay, any questions as of now before we move on? If for those who are on YouTube live, if you're watching this, if you have questions, please post in our WhatsApp group if that's possible. Online quiz or physical? Physical. Yes. Thank you, Harshin. Okay. So with that, everybody, if there is no questions for now. Any questions? Good. Everybody is clear. Can I get a quick response in the chat box, please? Okay, I will for the second week, Siddhartha. Okay, clear? Okay, everybody in the YouTube, I'm streaming live right now. If you have questions, please post in the WhatsApp group if you're in right there. Okay? All right, thank you very much, everybody. All right, so just to go through, which is week 1, intro to mass comm. So again, week 1 today, I'm just going to go through with you what we'll be covering in the weeks to come. We will talk about introduction to communication. We'll talk about media theories. We'll talk about print media, book, newspapers, and magazine. We'll talk about broadcast media, TV, and film. And again, we will talk about week 6 recording and radio. Maybe if we have time, we'll do a jamming session, or a karaoke sessions, on week 6. Week 7, we'll talk more on journalism. Week 8, it's advertising and PR. We talk about mass communication and politics and the digital age on week 9. And week 10, we talk about global media. Week 11, media ethics. And week 12, we talk about media law. And again, I will try to cover as much as I can, for everybody to cover up till week 12. So you will have 2 extra weeks to work on your final group project video. Yes, so basically, again, we have a lot of things to cover, and I hope you will enjoy the ride together with me. All right, people. All right, that is yes. Do you need slides or textbook? No, you don't need. You need slides lah. Okay, but you don't need specifically a textbook. If you want, you can find in the library introduction to mass communication. So no problem on that. You need slides. Okay, I'll give you slides, that's for sure. Okay, so can I check everybody on YouTube? Are you okay? If you can comment, there's only 9 people watching now. Okay, so I hope everybody is okay. Okay. So with that, any questions before we start to our main lecture? Then the last agenda of our class would be to go through the assignments with you. What is it? What do you want from me? You need the slides. Okay, I will give you the slides. No problem. Okay, any questions? Any questions up till now? We can kidnap cameras and mice from the campus. You can borrow, definitely you can borrow from the media hub, and with that you can request it from level 3 block D. No, no need to pay. Okay, I will be uploading the module information booklet after the class. I just wanna, share with you first, because I wanna explain first, then you take your time to read. Would that be okay for you, Aisha? I will upload it in a bit after I end the class. Okay. All right. Any other questions before we head on to our lecture for today, people? So the camera can also be used by its own. Yes, that is right, Fu Sheng. Any questions, people, for now? Okay, so I hope everybody could actually join in. I have about 100 more who are not here, so I hope, please let everybody know that, even though you can't, for intro to mass comm, if you are in Zoom, you stay on Zoom, and if you cannot log in, through Zoom, you can watch every time I will do a YouTube live streaming for, for everybody to come in and can see. So everything is the same, just that the issue would be, you can drop a comment in the chat box on YouTube, but I hope this is okay for now. Yeah. So no questions. Okay, let's move on to our lecture for today, everybody. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Okay, give me a second. All right, everybody. With that, let's head on to our lecture for now. So I hope it's 8:43 a.m. You're still under the covers, or you are at campus listening to the lecture. Thank you so much, everybody, for still bearing with me after 43 minutes. So with that, let's head on to our first lecture for the semester, which is what is mass communication, culture, and media literacy. So a little bit to entice you on the idea of what intro to mass communication is. So basically, hopefully by this lecture, you could actually know what is communication, what is mass communication, mass media, and culture, what's a relationship, components of media literacy, and identifying key skills required for developing media literacy. All right, so heading on towards the lecture. So again, you are in the class of mass communication and you are enrolled. There will be people who come from different programs. Thank you, welcome. But what is mass communication if you are a student of mass communication? Sometimes there is a perception where when we talk about mass communication, it's easy. You take mass communication because it's easy. So again, I'm right here to tell you that mass communication is a particular, it has many different understanding, but the concept and foundation will be the same. So with that, I would like to share with you the definition first on communication. Okay, what is communication? Okay, so again, we come back to this simple understanding of what communication is. And as human beings, we tend to forget and take things for granted, whereby, for example, by talking and hearing with another person, that would be, a luxury by its own. Because if you have, if, for example, let's say communication would be, a girlfriend and a boyfriend, for example, right? A girlfriend and a boyfriend, or a girlfriend telling her boyfriend, for example, how my day was, for example. So again, sometimes when you talk to a woman, you don't want to ask the question, how are you and how was your day? She can go on and on and on and on. So again, when we talk about communication, it's always reciprocating. For example, let's say between two friends, where one friend is having a problem and another friend listens carefully, so that would be communication and responding to this unfortunate friend of hers. So that would be communication, because you give a message, right, through face-to-face communication, and with that you will, you tend to give, and the other party will actually listen the message, and with that, you will give feedback. When a person tells you a message, you will, you will have an automatic reflex in giving, a feedback to the other person. So for example, right here, if I were to say, I were to say to you that, hi everybody, how are you? You will respond, for example, behind the screen, I'm good. I like you, Miss Hannes. So you'll be like, good. So that would be you responding, but just that because we're on Zoom or we're on YouTube Live, I could not actually see your feedback. So again, that is another form of communication through online means as well. So again, when we talk about communication, it's the transmission of a message from a source to a receiver, just like your mother tell you, for example, your beloved mother tell you, Maria, take out the trash. You will be responding the message with, a lot of sigh and a lot of hesitation. But again, that's communication right there, because you understand the message by its own. So that's communication, and you give feedback to throw the garbage and, come back to where you are at that point of moment. So that would be communication. So again, how would you describe communication? I would like to share with you with a process by a model named Shannon Weaver communication model. So for example, right here, we have sender. Okay, we have sender. I'm just gonna show you right here. Okay, if you see, this is the sender. All right, ayo, sender. Okay, and with that, okay, I'm just sharing this one. This is the sender. So for example, sender will be myself. Okay, for example, to send a message, you have to understand first, and translate your ideas into words that, that a person could understand. So how would a sender translate the message and get ideas to give a message is what we call the process of encoding. Okay, this is what it is, encoding. I'm just going to draw a straight line right here. Okay, so this is sender. Okay, and with that, every time when you transmit a message, you have to do it through a channel. So there's so many different points of channel, which is, for example, a face-to-face communication. You do it through WhatsApp, you do it through Zoom. Sometimes you watch this particular message through a TV. That's also a message. Yeah, so with that, okay, when your message travels through a channel, right, it will give a feedback, it will give the message to the receiver. Okay, receiver will be the person who received the message. And with that, when the receiver receives the message, they will decode the content of its own. So decode would be translating the message into a particular understanding. So for example, I'll give you an example of how it works. Okay, so let's say you say I love you to to a person, right? So sometimes I love you, the way you say it, the way you say it would have different kinds of meaning. If you say uh give me a second, people, 2 minutes. Okay, sorry people, interruption. Okay, are we still there? Okay, so okay, so with that, again, when we talk about the phrase I love you, so for example, let's say I love ya meaning in terms of friendship context. Yeah, I love ya. So again, different people, different meaning. So that is what we call in the decoding process. So if I were to give another example, would be, let's say I say to all of you, I'm the best lecturer ever, and I do it through Zoom, right? So different people, we have 298 people and consists of YouTube live, another couple more. So for example, you will decode differently. 299 people will decode differently. For example, oh my god, Miss Hannes is really cocky. Oh, I like Miss Hannes. Oh yes, and things like that. So again, how people interpret things would be differently. And sometimes we as human beings forget that, that people don't see things the same way that we do, right? Because of different communication process. Why do people don't see the same things that we do? Because we come from different backgrounds, different education experience, different high school, different family backgrounds. So that contributes a lot towards it as well. So again, that comes at the decoding process, right? So when we talk about, for example, let's say coming back to an example, let's say I tell you I'm the best lecturer ever, and you'll be like giving this feedback, so that would be feedback already said that you are annoyed, but again, you will I will that would be a feedback towards the sender, whereby, oh, you think, oh, okay, whatever. So that is how a communication process, an example of it, how it happens, right? So again, sometimes when you communicate with people, right now you're in a lecture Zoom link, it's already 8:53 a.m. You would have different thoughts. You are not here per se, even though you are in the Zoom link. But again, sometimes you think about what breakfast you should have at 10 a.m. after the class finishes. So you are here, but you are not entirely here. So it's normal to have a communication process where you have noise. It only takes something, that's why sometimes when we do lectures, people or students at the end of the day will keep asking, hey, what the lecturer talked about just now? I can't remember. So that's why, because you have noise, in your mind, that you're thinking something else, you're thinking about your boyfriend, you're thinking about your mother and things like that. So that is normal as a human process, right? So with that, everybody, okay? With that, let's head on to the next slide. Okay, now, okay, any questions for now? Am I clear, people? Or you want to give an example of your own communication process, that'll be great as well. Are we clear? Can I get a quick response from everybody? All right. All righty. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Does the interpretation depend on intonation too? That is right as well, in certain different contexts, Siddhartha. So, for example, let's say, I'm the best lecturer ever. Sometimes, the intonation sends a different message. So, again, it's important when you send a message to make sure and be careful as a communicator to make sure that your intonation is hopefully 90% of it, it's a clear intonation of what you intend to give the message to. Yeah? Does that answer your question, Siddhartha? Yes. Okay. So with that, okay, clear all my drawings. Okay, so I will continue. Oh my god. Okay, wait, clear all my drawings. Okay, I will go back and click on next. Okay, mass communication, people. Moving on to mass communication. Define what's the definition of mass communication is the creating shared meaning between the mass media and their audiences. So when we talk about mass media, right, there is a division of it whereby we have traditional media, which is newspaper, books, books, TV, radio, all the broadcasting, sense would be a traditional media where it could not give, an interactive platform to the reader, to the audiences. So this is what we call traditional media, where it's one-way communication, where, for example, if you see a TV program, right, you can only watch. If you don't like the TV program, you can shout, I don't like you, for example, right? So that is how, traditional media is. But moving on, we have the internet. I don't want to say the new media. People call the new media, we have people call the digital media, but mainly, specifically, the internet is a combination of what traditional media is in one particular platform and even more. So that is what mass communication is, where you use a platform, a media, to actually log in and to get information. So let's say I am a YouTube vlogger, right? And I want to share with my followers, for example, that I am doing a YouTube live today, or what, YouTube live, so old, the term, a TikTok live, okay, a TikTok live. And then I want to share something that that happened to me today, and I go on TikTok live, for example, right? And with that, the followers actually log in, to see that I am on TikTok live, and they hear my messages and things like that. So that would be a mass communication, an extension of what communication process is, but through a particular proper medium, whereby it's through, for example, TikTok. And how would you actually able to actually log into TikTok is you have to log in through a phone. So everything that you see, for example, watching a film, for example, looking at a YouTube video and enjoying the music, right? Or you watch a particular YouTube video and read a news on your smartphone. Or you are old school, where you still buy newspaper and read a particular news article hard copy. That would be mass communication, where people give out information to people to make sure that they are well informed. So again, coming back to another example would be, how would you know during COVID-19 that it's dangerous, that you have to stay home, that you could not go out from your premises to actually experience life because of the media, because you log into your internet, because you see news stories all over the world saying that COVID is dangerous, and that's why you stay at home and do your learning experience through online. So that would be a form of mass communication as well. So whatever who we are, right, who we are now, what we experience in few seconds and few hours later on, while where you see Netflix, or you see another online lecture, for example, by your lecturers, that is a form of an example of what mass communication is. To have to have a platform, to make sure that there is a message that you have to give to a group of people. Sometimes in traditional media, for example, in TV, in television, sometimes you don't know who your target market is, right? So you just give your content out there. But with digital media, with the internet, you can actually have different platforms for different people to log in, and it's much more targeted in that sense. Yeah. So that is just a variation of definitions to make you understand what mass communication is, right? With that, again, in Schramm's mass communication model, feedback is referred as delayed inferential feedback. So again, sometimes when we talk about mass communication, specifically in traditional media, it's a delayed feedback, whereby if you watch a TV program, back then I'm very old, so let's say you watch a TV program and you want to know whether people like your TV program or not, you have to go out to survey, you have to do AC Nielsen survey, an association survey, to make sure that that people do like your program. So it's a little bit much more different. But right now, with digital media, with the internet, you can know instantly, with netizens, telling that they don't like your content or so forth. Yeah. So with that is an example of it, and an example of mass communication. TV station must wait a day at the very minimum, and sometimes a week or a month, to discover the ratings for news programs. So again, you have to do survey. When you were in television, at the point of time, there was no internet, to make sure that people do like your program. But right now, that's why the internet is powerful. Okay, any questions so far, people? Any questions? So far, so good. Okay. All right. Any questions? Let me know. How do we face the negativity of mass communication? Okay, that's a good question, Kunal. How do we face negativity of mass communication, whereby you have to have a limit when you see media platforms? You must make sure that it's sometimes it's good for you to see, sometimes good things you absorb, sometimes negativity, you try not to take it very seriously at your end. So it's important when you are online, this is what I've thought throughout the years, is that if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say. right? So you just absorb and see how people react according to it, because this would actually teach you, how people look at things and so forth. For example, let's say, taking an example of Twitter, the Twitter, or what we call as X, right? um is so condemning. Wherever when you log into Twitter, it's very negative. So that is how, you try to have a limit, in looking at things. Sometimes it's good to actually log off, so it depends on certain people. Kunal. Okay. All right. So with that, in exams we have to draw a diagram like one displayed on the screen right now. That's a great idea, Siddhartha. I haven't thought of that. Oh my god, that's good. Okay, maybe you should, people. Maybe you should. Okay, that's a good idea by its own. Okay, therefore the mass media needs to avoid negative things and find the highlights of the world to resonate. Yes, how do we differentiate when we use Shannon Weaver model and when we should use the Scrum model? That's a good question as well, Alicia. Thank you. Okay, so when we talk about the Shannon Weaver model, that is the basic. If I would like to go through with you, this is a basic communication process, okay, by Shannon Weaver, whereby it's simple communication. One person give out message through a channel, one person receive it and give feedback whether they understand the message or not. And at times there will be noise where the person doesn't understand the message. Might it be because there is physical noise in the environment, there is internal noise in your mind as well for you to comprehend the message. Okay, the difference between Shannon and Shrem would be this is specifically on mass communication per se. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example right here whereby we have the input from news sources, art sources, okay, and then it decodes, it interprets, it encodes and gives out through so many people right here, media channels, so many different channels, okay. And then there's the mass audience, many receivers, each decoding, interpreting, encoding, and each connected with a group in which the message is reinterpreted and often acted upon, and it's through an organization. Okay, so I want to give you an example of this, if it's okay. There's a question. Okay. Okay. True. Okay, I will take back that point in a bit, everybody. Okay, so if you talk about Scrum model of mass communication, giving you a specific and a general overview of how things work is that when one particular sender, the sender would be the media organization or the media content creator. Okay, so that's how it is. Sometimes back then, for you to create a content, you have to be associated with an organization. Back then, before internet was even here, because you have to be a trained broadcast journalist, you have to know how to operate a camera. So that's how you have to be attached to a media organization. Okay, but right now, sometimes, right, so how people work would be, I want to give you, this is very confusing in that sense. I will share with you here more. I will share with you a screen. Yeah. Okay, so giving you an example of I will share it in a bit. I'll try to make it short. Okay, so this would be, okay, film producer. Okay, film producer produces film. Okay, so this would be this would be, if I can draw right here, okay, the sender. Okay, sender. Okay, Sender. So how does a film producer produces film? They have budget, they have money, then they produce a particular film. So film producer works with film director and so forth to make sure that all of you are entertained, right? So they are the sender. So how do they actually communicate? So every film would have a different message, a different storyline, different characters for them to actually share with you the overall values of that particular film. So again, I will give you this particular text, text draw. Okay, this one. Okay, so film producer, film director will give out, right, values, message of the film, what else, storyline of the film, and lesson learned from the film. Okay, so that's how it works. This is the message of the film, because when a person buys a ticket, it's to be entertained by a film producer, by a sender's interpretation, right? So this is the value message of the film, what the film producer wants you to know, his point of view of the film, right? And with that, how does it give it to, how do they give it to you? Okay, through, okay, a film in the cinemas. Okay, this is how they give out to you films in the cinemas, where you go and purchase a ticket and things like that. So with that, when the film is in the cinema, people like it, you go and market your film and so forth. And with that, this will direct to, okay, the audience, which is the receiver. Okay, so how would you know that particular film is good or not? That is feedback, right? So sometimes it can be, if there is so many people watching the film, it must be a good film. But sometimes, there is so many people watching the film because it's good marketing. So different people, again, it comes back with different interpretation, right? So what we have right here is that the sender will send film producer, produces film, values, message of the film, and the film goes into the cinema and gives this particular film to the audiences. So audiences will have different interpretation when they see one movie. For example, I would say, the Transformer movie is, I don't know whether we have Transformer fans here, right here or not. Transformer is, for example, a good movie. A different person who watches Transformer will be, oh, this is only movies about robots and cars and so forth. Yeah, I don't see the point. For example, another person would say, oh, okay, so what's the story? So again, when you give out, this is what we call the scram model. Different people would have different interpretation of the movie. Okay, so with that, I will get back to your questions in a bit. Let me just try to finish to draw this to make sure you understand the whole idea. Okay, so with that, you have different interpretation. Request to record this way. Okay, different interpretation, okay, of the movie. Okay, and how again the sender will actually get the feedback of the movie. Back then, before internet comes about, before internet was ever in the picture, there's no internet at all. People, the sender, the film producer of the particular movie will know whether it's a good movie, whereby there is much more of purchase of tickets, movie tickets. So the more people who go and watch it, your ticket is skyrocketing. Your sales of tickets are skyrocketing. It's going up, up, up. More people, you get more royalty. So that's how the film producer would know that the film that they have made has impacted people. Might it be good or bad? It's interpretation. It comes to different interpretation of people. But again, the sender would want to know, it's a good movie and people like it. That's how by people coming in to buy the tickets to your film. But again, with the internet coming about, we have okay here. Okay, you can actually say it through social media platforms of Instagram. Right now the movies have Instagram account, TikTok account, to make sure that the marketing processes is being known to so many people, because you want people to see your movie, because you think your movie is too good. As a film producer, you think your movie is too good and you want everybody to watch, because you think it's valuable. So again, it's important. Mass communication, if you have content, is one thing, but how you have to make sure people know. So that's how mass communication is, to make sure that people already know about your movie and so forth. So coming back to this particular particular figure, different interpretation of the movie. Right now with the internet, you can actually know people like it, audiences like it or not true. For example, if a newspaper cover your particular movie premiere, you can know through Facebook comments, TikTok, Instagram, and so forth, right? So that is how you do it, and it gives back the feedback to the sender. Okay, so this is an example of a simple example of a Scrum model, if I make myself clear. Okay, audiences are receivers, correct? Audiences are receivers. Let me just do this drawing. Okay, yeah, do I make myself clear, people? Do you have questions? Sometimes upon me explaining, I will have I have a different I will talk different things and touch different things. So this is an example of the Scrum model. Yes, for the Barbie film. That's a great film by its own. Yeah. Okay, so any questions for now? Are you clear, people? Sorry, I took time to share this. Yeah, I hope it's clear. People on YouTube, are you okay? Okay. 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 All right. Great, 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 great. Hard to get. It's okay. I will explain later. One more time. Okay, great. Okay, people. Okay, so with that, moving on to the next part, people, is I want to share with you is save SPNG. Okay, so I want to show with you a particular and continue the slides. Where is my slides? Okay. Wait. Okay. Is it? Wait, where is it? Okay, I'm back. Okay, so with that, just a short one, a little bit more. I want to spend another 3 more minutes if that's okay with you. Try to bear with me. Okay, moving on to interpersonal versus mass communication. You still can see my screen, people. Is again just to share with you on a different context, whereby interpersonal would be where people give it more. It's more inclusive communication process where two or more individuals, not more than 10, they go out and give information and discuss and things like that. But what we talk about when we talk about mass communication, it's a type of communication with a large group of audiences using mass media. So again, if you want to reach out to so many people throughout the world, you just cannot go one by one and say, I have this idea, I want to do it to yours. You have to do it through a medium, and that's how mass communication is. Yeah, it tends to inform, to educate, to entertain, and persuade. So again, when we talk about mass communication, it has a lot of functions to inform people, to educate, and so forth. Okay, moving on to what is culture. So again, a part of what mass communication is to actually distribute or disseminate someone's culture. Okay, and culture is the learned behavior of members of a given social group, and many writers and thinkers have offered interesting expansion of this definition. I'm not used to all English teaching, and I feel that I can't understand a lot of content. Okay, Ranching, maybe when the class ends, maybe you can talk to me, and then I'll try to explain once more to you again, what, bit by bit, if that's okay with you. Yeah, just let me know. Okay, just stay back. All right. Okay, slowly, Ranching. Okay, so with that, moving on to what is culture. So again, when we talk about culture, you can see so many different cultures, from simple observation through social media. You can see different cultures through TikTok as well. Okay, TikTok is a whole culture by its own. And again, when we talk about all definitions of culture, recognize that culture is learned. So again, when we talk about mass media platforms, it gives out the culture, what is happening, for example, in Korea, what is happening in Japan, what is happening in Malaysia specifically. Okay, so again, we have different cultures throughout the mass media. If anybody watched The Godfather before, it's a very, very great movie by its own. Okay, can we use our own answers to describe the model? Yes, you can, no problem. Okay, so and with that, we have The Godfather. If you haven't known the movie, what is it about, you can go and find and Google it. Okay, we know the culture of using Apple. When we talk about using Apple, that's the most expensive feature or a device that you can have. So it's a culture when you have an Apple product, you are rich, for example. And through Central Perk, which is Friends TV show. Anybody a fan of Friends TV show? Yes, Friends. It's on Netflix. It's 10 seasons. So, if you haven't had time to watch it, maybe it's time for you to watch it now. Okay, so with that, we go a little bit more on functions and effect of culture. So again, when we talk about culture and effects on the media itself, sometimes it can be negative effects, because sometimes different people have different interpretation. I told you already. And again, culture limits our options and provides useful guidelines for behavior. Sometimes whenever you see the media, they have body shame claiming, definition of beauty is only specifically to one color, skin color. Femininity is this, masculinity is this. You have to have, luxurious lifestyle for you to be even close to happy. That is what social media tells you. But again, it's important that when it comes back to the point that I mentioned just now, is you have to find some middle ground, or some foundation that whenever you see the media, you are not that affected. Okay, because you know who you are, but the media helps you to become who you are today, but you don't have it, you try not to have a great impact on you too much negatively. If it's positive, then that's good. So again, try to not watch dark webs and things like that, and that's how you become a little bit negative. Try not to condemn people almost every single day, leaving a comment saying that, oh my god, you're not pretty, you're not good, you're not good looking. That gives a negative mindset by its own. So who we are is what we try to be every day. So try to, at least on a particular day, if you log into social media, if you see, try to have an 85% positive mindset when you go on social media and watch videos or whatsoever forth. Try not to say bad things about people. Yeah, so that's very, very important. And again, when we talk about mass communication and culture, we have rarely seen them as opportunities to expand our power, to learn, exchange ideas and experience. So again, when we talk about mass communication and culture, we tend to use media platforms to be more negative. Why do we do that? It comes back to that question to all of us. Why we try to have a negative comment when we see, put a negative comment on a news article on, for example, a news portal, because we don't like, and sometimes what these negative comments affect someone. So try to look at a different outlook when you do things on media or on social networking sites and so forth. Yeah, and with that little bit much more a little bit more, what time is it? A little bit more communication and culture. Okay, everyone has an obligation to participate responsibly. It means that to create and maintain a culture by its own. So again, because there was a debate at one point of time, because we are much more to expose toward the Western culture, we become more westernized. It's good and also bad, but again, it comes back to the individual. How would you take more of the positive side than the negative end? Yeah, and with that, we go a little bit on. Okay, I will go later on. I want to jump into media literacy. I jump into later on lah. Okay, so any questions so far? I'll continue this in our tutorials next week. Okay, any questions so far, people? Are we still okay? You still can follow me. You still you still there. Okay, that's good. What kind of mentality we should maintain? A positive mentality, definitely. Okay, all right, great. Okay, so with that, people, okay, it's important again to sum up this week's lecture is to always think, first before we when we see things online. Try to think first whether it's true or not true. Try to check first, then you can evaluate. I wouldn't say judge. Then you can evaluate as an audience, is this particular information true or not? Okay, I will upload the slides later on after the class. Okay, on my times. Okay, so any questions? So far, so okay, people. So with that, I will run through together with you, okay, together with you on the assignments. Okay, are you ready, people? Just a little bit. I want to get touch on assignment number 1 first. Next week we'll touch assignment number 2. Fu Sheng, maintain a positive attitude and share time. I think this should be original intention of the media. True. Yes, very, very true. Okay, so for the first half of our class, we talk about myself, the course, and then we talk about we talk about a little bit of the assessment, and we did our week 1 lecture. So I'll continue on media literacy during our tutorial sessions together on week 2. Okay, so with that, everybody, it is important, it's important. Give me a second here. There was to mention. Okay, so coming back, should we put ourselves in audience's seat while we are studying? Both audiences and creators of the content as well, because that is what you're going to do throughout the class, being the audience and the creators. Yep. Okay, good question, Siddhartha. Okay, I want to share with you, okay, on the in-class assignment. Okay, how would we do it? Data, where is my file? Where is my file? Give me a second, everybody. I hope everybody on YouTube live is still okay. Let me just check if everybody is okay. 12 is watching now. Thank you very much for staying in. Okay. So with that, give me a second. Okay. I'll share this everything after we end the class, and I'll upload the slides later on for you to check and so forth. Okay. Okay, everybody, if you're seeing my screen, okay, it's again, it's I will give the CAMS code in a bit. Okay, Yizhen. All right, so the learning outcomes right here for intro to mass communication is first to identify key theories, concepts, and perspective relevant to mass media communication. Okay, to discover current developments impacting mass media landscape, hopefully we can cover throughout the world or not in general. Okay, analyze current media industry issues or developments and apply key concepts or perspective from media scholars and practitioners to explain the current phenomenon and impacting media. And then we have reflect on the role and influence of mass media and communication and culture. So basically, hopefully throughout, by the end of the semester, you would actually achieve these 4 learning outcomes, yeah, through our lectures and tutorial sessions. Okay, I just want to cover first this one today. Okay, so I will talk about assignment number 2, assignment number 3, and assignment number 4 on specifically next week, but I'll drop the module information booklet by end of today. You can see it on my times. Okay, so with that, people, okay, when we talk about assignment number 1, it is divided into 2 parts, whereby it's an individual in-class assignment. Okay, so in-class assignment is, for example, as I mentioned before, group discussions, let's say we are covering on broadcasting and TV and film that particular week, and you have to take photos and do a short TV program of 1 minute, with your classmates, on that particular week during class time. So that will be marks right there. So every time you go into your tutorial sessions, that is marks. So please participate actively, in the class to make sure, that you do the work and so forth with me, Dr. Azian, and Miss Afruz are guiding you throughout. So that is very, very important. Does it include peer evaluation? It also includes peer evaluation also. Good question, Shailene. Okay, so with that, sometimes by the end of the class, there will always be a peer evaluation that people, that this person actually contributes to this group work in class. So that's how, people get marks and so forth. So when you do a group discussion, every week it's different. You do group TV, or either you do for example, an advertisement. You focus on a particular PR campaign. You try to pitch something. So different activities to match the weeks that we cover, the topics that we cover, in the particular semester. Will there be a debate session? Yes. Yeah, hopefully, if we have time, there will be. Thank you, Kunal. So that is assignment number 1. So throughout, but what if a disagreement occurs during a pair discussion and one is right? So should we include this in our assignment? So again, it is good to work it out with your teammates to make sure that you produce an output. Okay? It's very, very important. That's why you have to work it out with your teammates. So if you can't work it out, you will have to make sure, I will come in and mediate and help you out as well. Okay, so that is individual and class assignment. Every time when you do, that's 15 marks right there. Okay, 15 marks in total. Okay, and with that, that is by the end of the semester, it will add on to 20%. So just to show you how big the particular, give me a second, to show you the amount of how big the work is. In total, it will be 195 marks throughout the whole week, the whole 13 weeks together. So you want to have 15 marks. If, for example, let's say if you do good, the quality is good, then 15 mark is yours. There will always be how I will share with you how do I grade you, or how the tutors grade you in a particular work. What are we looking for, right? So you have to work accordingly to that element. So before we start an activity session, I will let you know, and Dr. Azian and Miss Afruza, on what are we looking for. We don't give you out the rubrics lah, we tell you what are we looking for in this assignment. Discussion, participation, engagement, passion. So that's how you get marks, accordingly. Okay, so that's individual and group in class assignment actually. Okay, so with that, okay, that's 20% in total. And the part B of assignment 1 would be physical quiz. Okay, when we talk about physical quiz, it's 10%, covering from chapter 1 up till, for example, chapter 12. Okay, so with that, it's a 2 hours quiz, and it will be held during your tutorials. Okay, so that would be, so as in-class assignment every week, that is the due date. Okay, every time you have tutorial class, you will have things to do. And assessment part B would be a quiz that will be sometime around week 13. Okay, any questions for now, people, before we head on to our CAMS code? No, it's not open book. Kunal. Okay, question. Question. Are we good, people? Are we still alive? So I do apologize from the very beginning if if when you sign up to my class, I will be, for example, a girlfriend that you never have. I will cling on to you, or for the upcoming 14 weeks together with Dr. Azan and Miss Afruza, and we will break up with you at the end of the semester. So please make sure during our term of relationship together, you do good quality of work. And that's how it's a win-win situation for the both of us. Yes. So I try to cling on to you, and we will break up soon. Okay, but not now. I will be like that clingy girlfriend you never have. Okay. So yep. Any questions before we head on to our camp scout? In every tutorial class, we will have quiz. No, you will have activity and discussions. Activity for you to do. An assignment for you to do. An activity lah. Yeah? Sally, does that answer your question? Okay, so with that, people, I'm giving out the CAMS code now. Okay. Why cannot log in? Wait, Okay. And I'm sharing with you the CAMS code. So everybody, please head on to the CAMS code and key in your CAMS as of today. This is the attendance, the hang. All right, everybody. I hope you have a very, very good time with me. I hope I made your 8 a.m. a little bit much more okay with my class. I hope it's okay. And I hope you are clear of the lecture. If you have questions, you please let me know. I will drop the group. I'm dropping out the the group link right here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Group link. Please join the WhatsApp group. We will have all announcements will be shared right there. Okay, invite group via link, copy link. Okay, so what I'm doing is, all right, thank you so much for today. It's just assignment briefing for assessment number 1, but I will continue on to share with you the explanation of assignment number 2 later on next week. But I'll drop the module information book at the end, by end of today. Okay, so you don't have to worry a thing. Okay, so is it possible so we can write the notes and slides while listening to your lecture? Okay, Aisha, I will do. Okay, so the link. Okay, give me a second. I'm not sharing the camps, is it? Okay, so I have shared the camps code. Okay, so come. This is the link. This is the camps code for today. So with that, everybody, for now, you can just take a chill pill and relax first. But week 2, we are going full force. And that's how I like to do it. And Dr. Azian and Miss Aruza. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for coming in. It's a wrap for week one. I will share with you the model information book, the slides, the recording, and you can take time to read it. So thank you so much, everybody, for a great session. I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. You can log out already. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you very much, Kunal. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. Have a great class, everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you. See you next week. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye, everybody. Have a good week.
Bye bye.
Bye, Ibo. Assignment due. Assignment one, 2 parts. Assessment one is in-class assignment every week. Shailene, every week, every tutorial class. Quiz is week 13. So it doesn't. So you will only start on week 2. Okay, I'll explain again in week 2. Shailene, is that clear? All right, great. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, everybody. See you, see you.